Okay, good evening. I'd like to call to order the meeting for the Board of Adjustments at 6:44 p.m. And we have a form, and we'll go over the meetings from February the 28th, 2023. Does anybody have anything that they see in the minutes that needs to be amended or adjusted? Make a motion to accept the minutes as they are.
Motion to accept.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? Okay, everybody in agreement, aye? Say aye, please. Aye. Okay. All right, now we're going on to the Board of Adjustments for procedure for evidentiary hearings.
And I can go through that right quick.
Please.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So these are the quick rules for the quasi judicial public hearing B 2023-02 for a variance request. So this application for a variance request requires an evidentiary hearing on the application, which will be heard by the Board of Adjustment acting as a quasi judicial board. The procedure for your hearing. So anyone who wants to speak at this quasi judicial hearing should sign in with planning staff and be sworn in to speak. All speakers shall speak from the podium. Once the hearing is open, preliminary matters are addressed. Staff represents a statement or introduce the staff report. Applicant is called on to present evidence in support of the application, followed by others who wish to speak in support or opposition of the application. The applicant should present their argument and evidence to show that the standards of the APA ordinances have been met as concisely and efficiently as possible. All speakers should address the approval criteria and must avoid inflammatory, irrelevant, or repetitious testimony. And groups are encouraged to select a spokesperson. Speakers may introduce exhibits only to support their testimony at the hearing. All speakers should ensure that their testimony is relevant to the criteria, consists of statements and facts about which the speaker can personally testify, and not statements or words of others who are not testifying, and is not speculative opinions or generalized objections without supporting facts. Meaning it has to be, you have to have legal standing, and everything has to be relevant to this case. Only speakers who are qualified as experts in the appropriate field should testify. And, all speakers should direct their testimony to the criteria that must be met for this particular application. Board members may pose questions to the applicant and the speakers who spoke in support or opposition of the application. Persons opposed to the application are invited to speak. Board members may pose questions to the persons who spoke in opposition to the request. Both sides are permitted to question the other side and present rebuttals. The Board of Adjustment chairperson closes the period for public discussion. The board then deliberates, and then the public hearing is closed. And after the public hearing is closed, the staff may present their recommendation to the board at this time. And all evidence must be presented and considered before a recommendation can be submitted. And then the board will render a decision. And then just to add, the way the board, this quasi-judicial board votes is based on the findings of, 4 findings of facts. And the board would either approve, deny, or approve with conditions, or table for further study. And as well as conditions can be placed on this variance request.
We have one item, new business, and it's evidentiary hearing to allow the reduced distance from the 1/2 mile minimum requirements of another family care home in the Nashville Code of Ordinances for property located at 1848 First Street Extension. And it's parcel ID 3044499, PIN is 381111036, 8326. The property is zoned A1 agricultural zoning district. Okay. At this time, I'm looking for a motion
Get sworn in.
to,
You gotta be sworn in.
I have to be sworn in.
No, we have
I
to be
have to
sworn
be sworn
in.
in. Okay, okay. All that are testifying or want to, please come up. Put your hand on the Bible. What about the, would you like to say anything? Do you have anything you'd like to say in this public hearing?
I don't think so.
Okay, if you will, come on up and be sworn in, please. You will place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Now, we're ready to have a motion to open for public hearing. Okay. Do I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Have a second.
Second.
So I will now open the public hearing on the following application. This is a public hearing on the application for case number B 2023-02, which is the variance request for, I said it a minute ago, 1848 First Street Extension. Public hearings are recorded for the public record, and all testimony must be presented, and after you give your full name and address. All right, parties and witnesses, you've already taken the oath. And make sure all the names and addresses for all parties are on the sign-up sheet. Has everybody signed in? Okay, thank you. And all testifying have been sworn in. All right, is there anyone who has not signed in that wants to speak? Okay. All parties have been sworn in. And the purpose of this hearing is to gather legally acceptable evidence in order to establish sufficient facts to apply the applicable ordinance. And the purpose is not to gather public opinion about the desirability of the project. Section 4, in evidence, we have town staff presentation.
Okay. So with regards to the property at 1848 First Street Extension, Ms. McDowell is proposing to allow she's asking for a reduced distance from another facility that's in the area. That facility is located off of 1522 Glen Eagles Court, and she's just 200 feet shy, almost 200 feet shy from that facility, from zoning lot to zoning lot. And in that area, she's just right, her property, the backside of her property butts up to Nash County zoning. And the front part of her property is zoned A1 agriculture. And the adjacent and nearby land uses that surrounds is all residential. And in your packet, page 5 and 6, it shows the meets and bounds description showing her property. And you also have on page 6, it shows the actual distance that was measured by staff, showing that actual distance. And actually driving to that area, I believe is approximately 1.6 miles, but it meets the it meets the requirement if you're driving, but just based on our measurement from zoning lot to zoning lot is roughly 2,445 feet. I believe that's what it is. And me go back. Yes, that's approximately 2,445 feet. And the requirement is that it be a half a mile, which was 2,640 feet. And actually, you can see the zoning map that's on page 7, showing the property located at 1848 First Street Extension. And below that, you see the future land use map showing that it's all located in low-density residential. Photos of the petition property showing the sign that was posted. In section 18-108, you have the description of district for the A1 agricultural zoning district, followed by the dimensional requirements. And also in section 18109 from the table of permitted uses, showing that family care homes are allowed in the A1 zoning district, and with the note from note 14, that the zoning lot on which one family care home is proposed shall not be located within 1/2 mile of the zoning lot containing another such facility. Staff notes this application was submitted to the planning department on February 27th, 2023. Letters, public hearing notification was mailed out on March 14th to approximately 6 property owners. Adjacent and abutting 1848 First Street Extension for the March 28th Board of Adjustment meeting. The notice was published for 2 consecutive weeks on 3/16 and 3/23. And also, a sign was posted on the property on March 16th. And the property is approximately plus or minus 2.01 acres. It is not located in a flood hazard zone, and it is not located within the North Carolina DEQ water supply watershed. And also, on page 10, you have the findings of facts showing the applicant's response as it is per application that was submitted. And also you have your attachments, your application, adjacent and nearby property owners, the Board of Adjustment worksheet, and the Board of Adjustment voting action. And that's staff statement.
Question on the staff.
Mhm.
What is the reason for the half mile
So
distance barrier?
So by state statute, the town can put for these type of facilities that they at least have a 1/2 mile radius.
So it's a state
Mhm.
standard.
And that's as the crow flies.
Yes, that's
Okay.
code.
But you said the state permits us to, so what's the reason for that?
Because, well, it's a half mile radius, and I know some jurisdictions have them and some may not, but they're allowed in all, it's like you can't deny them, but they're all, allowed in the the residential zoning districts as a permitted use, because it's set up just like a residence. And so, but however, state statutes also said, you can place that 1/2 mile radius on there.
Is
Just
there-
to limit this.
So it's just
Just
short,
to limit this.
yes.
Okay.
And is there any type of physical barrier between these? So it's just open land?
Whereas other,
I mean,
like
like
here,
trees or any type of physical barrier,
let me go.
wooded areas?
Well, Farmland woods.
So absent it's 200 and some feet, this would be there, it's permitted to be there, can be there, we need to be talking about absent 200 feet
Right.
from being a house.
That's the only.
That's the only issue.
Thank you.
No
Anybody
problem.
else? Have any questions? All right, applicant's presentation and their witnesses.
Good afternoon.
My name is Sheila McDowell Riggs. My husband and I run already a licensed family care facility located at 3619 Cooley Lane. I'm sorry, I didn't give you my address, which has been said several times. It's 1848 First Street, Central Nashville. But my current home is, we own and operate a facility at 3619 Cooley Lane. We house total care, most of the time, total care clients or people, such as this beautiful young lady sitting here, who does not pose any type of threat to the community or surrounding neighbors, if she's unable to do so. I mean, these are people who I help to populate into the community. I assist her with all her daily needs, feeding, bathing, everything that she needs, taking her to her doctor's appointments. I get her dressed to go to various day programs, and she is a person that participates in the community with my help and the aid of my husband as well. I've had Nora since she was 29 years old. She's 43 years old now. So she not only is my client, she becomes my child. So, and this is what I would like to, and I want to move from 3619 Cooley Lane because that house that we have licensed is the house my husband was born and raised in. The house was built in 1920 something. The house that I moved to, I bought it from Randy Price here in Nashville. In 2014, we built some additional rooms because there was only one bedroom downstairs, and we wanted to make the facility, we wanted to move the facility to First Street. So we added on 2 additional bedrooms, and we added on a bathroom as well to accommodate these handicapped clients to better facilitate their care in a more modern facility. And that's the reason why we want to move to this location, because we feel it would be a better fit for us, not only for us, but for Nora and any future clients that may come on board. And there's always a need. You have to turn down clients because somebody always needs care. And we're here to give them care and love and whatever else they need. That's my stand on it. Thank you very much. Any questions?
And how many people do you have?
I only
How many
have one,
residents?
but I'm licensed for 3.
Okay.
I'm licensed for 2 total care and 1 that's able to walk on their own. But I can have up to 2 wheelchairs and 1 that's able to walk on their own. 1 ambulatory.
You anticipate that capacity in the police?
Oh, I know it will be because I've had up to 3 before in the old place. So, like I just stated, I turned down several clients because I'm trying to get everything moved over to the new facility. And I didn't want to take on anybody else until we got everything straight.
I guess what I'm asking, the present license of 3, what do you anticipate your license may be?
I'm not gonna change my license. I only
You
want,
know, stay at 3.
I only want 3 because in order to do a good job and be effective at what you're doing for yourself and the client, you can't take on too many people.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Any other witnesses? Okay, other parties, evidence and witnesses.
Yes, sir. My name is James Brown, and Belinda and I own the property right next to her. Matter of fact, the picture up there was taken from our property at the signs. And what we're mostly concerned with is they've already added on to the house one home. How much expansion are they allowed to go? Is it just uncontrollable, or I don't know a whole lot about, the law and stuff, how much, or how big they can get, or how much they can spread. And the property out there is rural, pretty much all our property is cleared in front and rural in the back. And I think we both got about 8 acres out there or something. And my concern was, is it going to be a great big facility? And she said 3 people or something like that just now. But I didn't know that because I know they've added only one time, and there's room for her to grow. And in my direction, but the other direction, and back. So I don't know if this could be a big nursing home or whatever. It's a limitation is my concern. I didn't pick to live next to a big business or a home that size with I don't know how many people are satisfied, but probably not that many. But my concern, our concern is they just don't, anytime they get ready to, is there rules that they have to go by before they can grow, and things like that. That's what our concern is. So, and being the neighbor there, I don't have a problem. I don't even see them. Anyway, that was our concern, and especially in the sign. I didn't even know what was going on. That's what was going on over there. They were running a business there. I knew there was people over there, and sometimes we have parties with a lot of those people. I didn't even have a mercy or care facility just until this came up. I didn't know anything about it. So anyway, that's our concern about this.
What's your address?
Pardon me?
What's your address?
1792 First Street, extension.
I don't see his name on the list. But you do.
Yeah, James,
So,
James. State statute, the max allowance is 6.
so they can't really expand anymore and add on to the house.
No, it would fall under the zone.
Am I right? 6?
They're
The max.
they're not asking to change the
No.
zone.
Right, yeah,
Right.
well, we didn't know, we got the
Right.
letter and
Right.
stuff, and we were trying to educate ourselves about what's going on. I didn't want to live right back, because we live in the country, and we're sort of,
Right.
the country's kind of come to.
We understand, but we're not voting on changing the zone, and the zone dictates what you can build there. So that's not gonna be a commercial building, that can only be a residential area. So they can't put a construction zone right there, so your concerns would be safe.
Okay, all right.
That's all we were concerned about. I mean, because they're great neighbors, I mean, you don't ever hear anything from them or anything, it's just, we were concerned that they would build a big nursing home or something like that there. And that's what really happened going on.
Thank you,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
All right.
Ms. Moss, Mr. Sears here, and Ms. Blunt, we're looking at the abutting and nearby property owners, and they're not even listed on this. It's on page 15.
Well, the mailing address says 792, but the physical address is 1818. That's why I'm confused.
So it is on there.
His name is Brown.
Yeah.
The Browns are up there.
Mr. Brown.
There's a-
I
there's a
went
change.
on whatever was on the tax card.
Okay, so their land doesn't even abut.
No, across the street. It's not touching, it's not across the street.
Oh, okay, all right, I got you.
Wow.
All right.
How far?
Next door
Our
to them.
property is next
Door
to,
them.
it's just like this.
Okay,
Yeah, we do enjoy our property.
1792.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And is your name James?
yep.
I thought you said Brown. It's not Brown.
It was
I
James.
was in the Gaither, it's in
Ah,
both.
Gaither.
Oh, okay,
All right.
okay.
We'll make sure you.
all right,
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
yeah, now we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I own the place since for 32 years.
It's on there. It's-
Okay, we see it, yeah,
Yeah.
we saw it.
It's confusing.
Yeah, the mailing address is
No,
17.
no, good. Yeah, we're good now.
Any rebuttal or closing statements?
So got a question. So the max for the town, or the max for the state, or the max, the 6
The
is
town.
what? What's that max?
Oh, the max is 6 resident, that's a state statute.
The state
It's 6. The max is 6.
So the most she could ever do is 6. She has 3 now. She can go back and get 6. That's the most she can do.
But she would have to take the life.
That's it.
But that includes dealing with people instead of residents, correct? Motion is 4.
No, they're not included. It's the number of pages.
That's
But we'd be correct in saying that
6
she went,
resident persons with disabilities.
but if she went more than 3, she would have to change her license, correct?
That's
According to
correct, yeah.
Her statement.
Yeah. So she still has to comply with the state and local ordinance.
And is it, just you two that lived in the home now, other than your resident there?
That's correct.
3, okay. We'll now have a presentation by Planning Director, Ms. Moss. According to cheat sheet up here. And I'm not afraid to admit
Well,
that I used it.
I'm already done the presentation.
Okay, you've already done yours. Okay, all right, we'll continue on then. All right, does the board, do we have any more questions for Ms. Moss or the applicant or anybody else? All right, I'm assuming since everybody here has spoken that's in the audience, we're good there, okay. No more public comments, I'll now close the public comment portion of the public hearing. Does the applicant wish to respond to any of the comments?
No, not really.
Before we turn to board member questions and deliberations, I want to state that documents included within this record for the quasi judicial public hearing include all application materials submitted by the applicant, all materials included in the board of the adjustment packets, any PowerPoint or other presentations given this evening, all written referral and public comments received regarding your application, the public comment sign-up sheet, and other applicable regulations. So I will now close the public hearing, and the Board of Adjustment members will deliberate on the evidence presented. During deliberations, board members may ask questions of town staff, but no further public comment or other testimony or evidence will be received. First, the only thing that I see so far that is what, 400 of 200 feet. 195 feet is only,
That's as the curve. The driving,
some miles.
you attempt, oh,
Any other comments, questions, concerns? Okay, discuss that, we discussed everything, approval without conditions. We're gonna vote, one of four ways. Approval without conditions, acceptance of the project as submitted, and all with a specific finding and stated reasoning for such. Approval with selection of conditions provided by staff, board members, and/or applicant, or we will table for further study. We have a draft order to grant the variance, and I would entertain a motion to approve or deny the variance request of V202302. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion for board adjustments of town of Nashville approval or granting the variance request for the property located at 1848 First Street.
I have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Has been approved.
And the next meeting is April 25th, if we have anything. If not, I will reach out to you on the date.
Okay, I make a motion. I make a motion to adjourn.
Talking rich.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Do I hear a second? Second. All approved? We are now adjourned.